This video is going to cover homework from page 747, number 9. Okay, so what we have here is a wooden planter in figure 30-23. And what we need to do is we need to find the volume and the surface area of this planter. Now, the top part right here is a prism, where the bottom part is a frustum. I did not try to draw this three-dimensionally because it would look bad. So I just drew it looking at it from the side, which is what we need anyway for part of it. So we have a prism on top and a frustum on the bottom, and both bases are square areas. So the bottom base is 10 by 10, and the top base for the frustum is 15 by 15. Okay? So in order to find the volume of this prism, I need to know the height. Well, they don't give me the height directly, but they give me this height of the frustum is 12 inches, and the height of the entire object is 16. So that means that this height right here is 4 inches. All right, so let's do the volume first. I wrote the equations for the frustums up here, for the volume and for the lateral area. So the volume of the prism is going to be the base times the height. And the base in this case is going to be 15 squared times 4. So that is going to be, move that around, 15 squared times 4, 900. So we have 900 inches cubed, and that is for the prism, this section right here. Now let's take care of the frustum. So here's our equation for that. We have the volume is equal to area of the big base, well, height first. Height of the frustum is 12, and then the area of the big base is 15 squared, plus the area of the small base, which is 10 squared, or 100, plus 15 squared times 100, and then we take the square root of that, and then divide all of that by 3. So let me go ahead and do all of that out. So we've got 12, 15 squared plus 100 plus the square root of 15 squared times 100. And then the denominator is 3. So we get, let's write it right here. $1,900 inches cubed. Now, it says each of them, A and B, tells us to find the cubic feet. Right now I'm finding the cubic inches, but I can get to cubic feet. We'll do that at the end, because both of them are going to be in inches, and then we're going to convert them to feet. So this is, let's see here, 900 plus 9, that's 2,800 inches cubed. That is for the volume of the figure. Total volume. Now let's work on the surface area. So with this thing, what we have is an open top, but I would imagine anyway that it should have a bottom on it. It doesn't say that, but I've never seen a planter without a bottom. So the lateral area plus the area of the smaller base is going to be the total surface area of this, because the top would be open. So let's make sure we understand that. So the first thing that I need to do in order to find the lateral area would be to find this slant height right here. So let's come over here, and this is that height right here that we're looking for. So I'm going to draw a line down the middle here, and if this is 15 here, then half of it is 7.5, and if this is 10 here, then half of it is 5. So what I really need, though, is this triangle right here. I'll draw that over here so I got some room to look at it. So this side is 12, and this side right there is 2.5. What I'm looking for is the slant height right there. So, see, I got a little bit of room down here. I'm going to use this room down here to do that. So we've got height slant is equal to 144 plus 2.5 squared. So that is 12.3. So I come up here to lateral area is equal to 12.3 times the perimeter of the large base, which is going to be 4 times 15, or I'll just write it this way. I'll just write it this way so it's more clear. Plus 4 times 10. All of that divided by 2. So that's 100 in there. So 12.3 times 100 is equal to that. Divide that by 2 equals that. So this lateral area of the frustum is going to be equal to 615 inches squared. Now let's find the lateral area of the prism up here. So that is going to be the perimeter times the height. So the area of the prism is equal to 4 times 15 times the height, which is 4, because there's 4 15s, and then the height, which is 4, and that is 6240 inches squared. So now I have the area of the prism, the lateral area of the prism. I have the lateral area of the frustum. Now what I have to know is that the bottom is going to be included in the area as well. So these are important numbers, and that's just 10 times 10, which is 100. So I add all of those up. 615 plus 100 plus 240, 955. So the area of the total thing is equal to 955 inches squared. Now, we're not done. For one thing, we need to convert these to square feet, and there's also something that we have to do with this right here, because if you look at B, very last part of it says allow for 15% waste. Okay, we have our volume total is 2,800 inches cubed, and our area total is 955 inches squared. So now I need to convert these into feet. So feet cubed and feet squared. So how do we convert inches cubed into feet cubed? So let's do it the way we've done it before. So if I've got 1 foot here, that's 12 inches. If I've got another foot here, that's 12 more inches. So this gives me square feet. So I can go ahead and calculate that for over here. 1 foot squared is equal to 144 inches squared, because 12 times 12 is 144. Now for the volume, I need to go one more direction, which is up another 12 inches. So that means that 1 foot cubed is equal to 1,728 inches cubed. Okay, so let's take care of this one first. So they're asking for feet cubed, so I'm going to put that in the top. So 1 foot cubed is the same as 1,728 inches cubed. Multiply that by a fraction. I need inches in the top, inches cubed in the top, and I'll just put a 1 right there. Now, this unit and this unit are going to cancel. The only thing I'm left with is feet. So that was 2,800 inches cubed. So this becomes 2,800 divided by 1,728. And that is 1.62 cubic feet. That's going to be my volume. Now, over here to the square inches. Now, there's one thing that we have to pay attention to, and it's important. In Part B, it says allow for 15% waste. Now, it's very important how we do this 15% waste. Now, the answer in the back of the book goes from one way of doing it, and that is if I take this 955, sorry, double division, and I multiply that by 1.15, I will get, this is the way they did it, the authors of the book did it. 955 times 1.15, that is 1,098.25 inches squared. Now to convert that into feet squared, let me do it over here. 1 foot squared is 144 inches squared, and I need to multiply that by this fraction right here. So 1,098.25 inches squared, and I'll just put a 1 under that. So the inches and the inches go away, and what I'm left with is 7.63 inches squared. That is the answer in the back of the book. But that is wrong. Now, I'm not normally the person to say that the authors in the book are wrong. Some people, if they get an answer wrong and they look at the book and it says something different, they immediately jump on the book must be wrong. I very rarely would say that, but I have thought about this, and I thought it is a big deal the way they do this. Because if we look here, what I'm doing is I'm taking my final answer and I'm taking that number and I'm increasing this by 15% of 955. That is not the way this is done. That would mean that if I take 15% off this right here, that means I should get to 955, and you don't. If I take that 1098.25, and then I multiply that by 15 and then subtract it from itself, you do not get 955. So I'll just shortcut that by multiplying it by 0.85, which is the same thing as taking, and I get 933. That is the wrong way to do it. So what's the right way to do it? So if I have an amount, a certain amount of, now I haven't converted it, I'm not going to convert this into square feet until I'm done, because there's more rounding that's involved. So if I take an area and I want to take 15% of that away, that's the waste, I would multiply that by 0.15, and then I would take that number. So this is the way I would do it. I would take the area minus the area times 0.15, and that would equal my final amount, which we know now to be 955. So I say that is 955. Well, let's do a little bit of algebra over here. Let me factor out the area. So A times 1 minus 0.15 equals 955. So this 1 minus 0.15 is area times 0.85 equals 955. So instead of multiplying 955 times the 1.15, I need to take 955 and divide it by 0.85, which gives me a different answer. 955 divided by 0.85 is 1,123.5 inches squared. That is the correct answer. Now, converting that into feet squared, what I end up doing is just, if I noticed up here, all I really ended up doing was taking the number and dividing it by 144. So I divide that by 144, and I get 7.8. So 7.8 inches or feet. I even left it. That, because this is the unit that I was left with, that was a big mistake. I'm not going to edit that one. Now, see the difference. Now, if you put this as an answer, I wouldn't mark it wrong. But it's important to understand percentages. And I thought about it, and it is a little bit of a big deal the way you have to do this. And this is just for future reference here. You don't have to worry about it for this particular number right here. But that's how percentages work.